Hello, everybody. This is Escape the Dungeon, the podcast where we ask you to join us as we explore the world beyond the world's oldest role-playing game. My name is Mike Cripps, and I will be your host and game master, and I am joined by three stellar players. Zach Brass.
That's me!
Dom Brass.
Yo!
And Nate Brass.
Greetings, Internet!
Each season, we will be playing a different tabletop role-playing game. This season, we are playing Scum and Villainy, a Forged in the Dark game published by Evil Hat Productions. Guys, how you doing today?
Doing good.
It's a Monday.
It is a Monday. We've switched our recording days to Monday to better accommodate my schedule, because I'm the most important person on this podcast.
Well, we can talk about that later.
How do you guys feel about Mondays? Am I right? Mondays?
There's a song called I Don't Like Mondays. It's a great song.
It's about a school shooting, kind of.
Okay, well, I wasn't going to mention that part.
He doesn't shoot any of the other people, just himself.
Okay.
Sounds like a really cheerful song.
Well, it's not. It's about Mondays, so...
But it's a good song. It is.
Well, how do you guys feel about lasagna?
I like lasagna.
I do like lasagna.
So you'd say you like lasagna, but you don't like Mondays?
You guys ever think about the fact that Garfield hated Mondays because it was the day that his owner went to work and wasn't at home anymore?
I think that's giving a little too much pathos to Garfield.
Is it?
I don't know. And I don't know.
Maybe you're right. Maybe he was just an emotional wreck over the fact that he didn't have John around anymore.
I don't know
that
that there's
sense.
that much textual evidence in Garfield that Garfield actually cares about John.
Well, actually, that actually brings up something interesting. Have you heard of like the internet's like whole weird thing with Garfield?
I know about Garfield minus Garfield.
I don't know exactly what that means, but I just know there's like this whole thing about like just like this weird Eldridge Garfield like kind of connection on the internet, and it's pretty crazy. You should look it up sometime.
That's freaky. What is
I haven't done the research and recently enough to justifiably give you a proper explanation, but like it's crazy.
Is it a conspiracy or is it a meme? I'm confused.
It's kind of a little bit of both.
Yeah. Wait, you know about like memes, but it's like a conspiracy and that's the meme?
You know
it's
about
stupid?
memes, right?
I mean, what do you want me to do? Like, I thought it was pretty clear.
No,
All right.
I know the kind of stuff you're talking about, and truth be told, I kind of hate that stuff. Like,
I totally get you. I'm not really normally about that kind of thing either, but the Garfield one, I just watched this one video about it, and it was really funny.
I love that shit. I think that's hilarious.
I was just like, this guy's so into this, and he's just like really selling me on it in a way that entertained me.
No, the stuff that I dislike, it's like the internet fan theories that aren't a theory at all, like where, and I guess I mean that.
Yeah. Okay. Don't
in
even
almost like
an
an academic sense of theory, and this is just another example of Mike being a pretentious asshole.
You mean hypothesis?
Wait, no, yeah, we're with you. This is cool.
But where it's like, well, what if literally not a hypothesis, because there's no textual evidence. It's like, what if in Toy Story Andy had cancer and all the toys coming to life were actually his brain turning to mush, and it's like, that is one, it's so boring to look at art that way, in my opinion, and it's I could literally talk about this for too long and it would not be funny, but like that kind of stuff really grinds my gears.
I think there's a deeper conversation here that I kind of want to dig into, but I do hear you. I get a kick out of those things, but I mean, it's always kind of disturbing inherently because it's always like, oh, what if this was actually really fucked up and disturbing? And that's the theory.
And I guess the thing is like, okay, fine. Let's say that's your reading of the text, your interpretation of the film, whatever. What does that change? How does that like enhance your understanding of or enjoyment of that piece of media?
Because it's sad now, and sad things are better.
I mean, he said it, not me.
This just in, we all die at the end.
Sad things are better, which is why our podcast is a tragedy.
It's all just Gorpheus's heroin stupor.
Actually, you've been dead the whole time. Plot twist.
He's actually in a rehab facility right now.
Gorpheus is in an insane asylum.
Everything after the first downtime period where Gorpheus went off and did drugs has not actually happened. It's all been a hallucination.
It's a really well thought out plot twist that really drives forward the narrative that we've been telling.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been peppering in hints this whole time. You probably noticed.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's in there.
Yeah, and I think it makes it better. I think that
the fact that none of it's real really makes it more real, you know?
Well, because now it's not a story about spacefaring adventurers. It's a story about don't do drugs because it makes you go crazy.
It's a story about a man's life. A man's life.
Or doing drugs makes you go on adventures.
With drugs.
It's definitely way, way deeper than it would have been otherwise. So that is what I hope people take away.
Yeah,
from
it's definitely deeper. Deeper something.
Ooh.
Hey, listeners, if you have any crazy fan theories, hit us up on social media so I can tell you how dumb I think you are.
No, I'm going to make them canon. I have power to. If I like them enough. Yeah, so, you know, shoot your shot.
Before we get into the game, guys, we said we were going to handle XP after every job, and I'm not letting us forget about it again.
Cool.
Let's talk real quick about your XP from the last job.
Oh shit! I wasn't even playing Crash. I don't care.
Oh yeah, you idiot.
So take a moment to review your XP triggers for your playbooks and for your crew. And let's go around the table real quick and talk about it. And Zach, since you're so excited, let's do Jerry first and really spend some time with it.
Mark XP. All right. At the end of a session, you address a tough challenge with technical skill or ingenuity, which I definitely did because I rigged a pistol up to a drone and like used that as a distraction. I mean, I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that sounds like it required ingenuity. XP.
Okay.
What about, do you think you expressed Jerry's various beliefs and drives or struggled with Jerry's vices?
Well, not with his vices, but because we haven't really gotten there, I don't think, with him. But with his drives, heritage, and background, yes. You see, his background is partially built on just hating Thorn.
That's true. Yeah, that is why he got introduced to the rest of the crew. So, yeah, that sounds good to me. So you'll mark 1 XP for each of those things you feel like you did once, or if it occurred multiple times, mark 2 XP. How about Cypher? What is Cypher marking XP for from this past job?
You addressed a tough challenge with speed or flair. You expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. You struggled with issues from your vice or traumas during the session. Cypher was quite reckless. and sticking to our bad plan, even though the good plan almost worked. So I'd say like 2 XP.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. Go ahead and mark that. And remember, guys, you can mark these either in your playbook advancement or in your prowess, resolve, or insight tracks. You get to choose those. And then how about Gorpheus? What is Gorpheus marking XP for?
So, addressed a tough challenge with the wisdom of the way. I think I used a bunch of crazy magic powers over the course of this adventure.
But do you think that was a sign of wisdom, though?
Sometimes, yes. I even like used with my magical powers in like diplomacy multiple times, or attempts to just talk to people. So I thought that was wise. No,
I mean, this is ultimately your judgment. Do you think you can sleep, at night if you mark XP for this?
I absolutely can. If I felt I didn't deserve this XP, I wouldn't be asking for it. I'll be frank with you. I took like no XP the first mission. I expressed your beliefs, drives, and heritage and background. So I tried to reason with Thorn, which is, it's pretty tough. He's not an easy guy to reason with, but I did kill him. So I'll take the L there, sure. But I did struggle with an issue for my vice because the guy gave me drugs. So.
Yeah, almost like that was a XP opportunity for you on a silver platter.
Yeah, it's great. So,
Awesome. So that's XP for Gorpheus. And then we did spend a little bit of time with Crash before he got captured since the last job. Zach, do you think Crash deserves any XP for what happened?
Well, he definitely struggled with his vices, 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. That's how he got in this situation in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think I could even argue all of them, but I'm just going to take the one.
Okay, sounds good to me. Welcome to the Procyon sector. After a vicious, explosive battle, the dread pirate Thorn is no more. Our heroes have escaped the mighty Might Away factory with their lives, their recovered captain, and a trio of bounties ready to turn into the highest bidders. Now that the jobs are done and the crew is reunited, it's time to discover the next chapter in the legend of the Phoenix 13. I want to pick up this episode in the Phoenix 13, specifically in the VR room / storage closet with Captain Crash Jordan uncomfortably stuffed inside. Crash, this has been a rough time for you. You have been beaten, you have been sedated, but you are starting to come to your senses. And you have these vague memories of being restrained and dangling from the ceiling as pirates and mercenaries just, were torturing you, basically. But you're not there anymore. You are uncomfortably folded up into your own closet in the Phoenix 13.
Do I recognize this as my own closet? I mean, how many of us are intimately familiar with our closets?
Well, this is where you do your VR exercises.
Oh, that's right. I have been in here a bunch.
And you're you're realizing what's going on, where you are, and you hear a voice that's unfamiliar at first. That is coming from outside in the ship. and the door to the closet that you have been stuffed in is slightly ajar. And so, like, as your senses come to, you realize that you are hearing a news broadcast that somebody has left on in the ship. And you hear like an anchor throw it to a reporter, and then you hear this woman's voice come in, and she says,
"This is Stacy Weathers reporting from the planet Indri, where there have been terrible explosions and violence here on the industrial homeworld that provides nearly 25% of the Procyon sector's factories and production. We're not quite sure what has happened here, though there have been rumors of a beat-up junker spaceship towing another. Locals have said they believe it belongs to a crew of bounty hunters, and my investigations have confirmed that the ship is designated the Phoenix 13. Early reports seem to indicate that the Phoenix 13 and her crew members are responsible for the horrible destruction of a pesticide factory here on Indri, with numerous casualties reported and injuries still coming in from the Stormlands. As this story develops, the hegemonic news network will continue to report. For the HNN, this is Stacy Weathers.
I unfold myself and kind of try and open the closet door and, like, imagine myself just, like, falling onto the ground.
Yeah, you hit the ground as you stumble out of the closet, and you're sore and you're battered, and you're thirsty, but you realize that you're actually not in terrible condition, because all of your harm has gone away that you had on your character sheet now that you are reunited with the rest of the crew. And that includes the prankster spirit that was possessing your hand. Perhaps being around the Waymite pesticides had something to do with getting rid of that Way spirit that was messing with you before, but you ultimately feel okay after a couple minutes.
I'm going to be honest, I'm a little disappointed.
Hey, that's the rules of the game, baby.
I'll take it.
And as you stumble out and you walk into like the central corridor of the Phoenix 13, you do see your friends and crewmates, Gorpheus and Cypher, waiting for you. And what's more is you see a bunch of other people, most of which are in constraints, clearly ready to be escorted off. You see that there's your old pal Razor, the hunter from Akiti, but also with him is a weird chicken man and a balding, chubby, middle-aged guy that like every 45 seconds just sort of phases out of reality and back into it.
Captain, you're awake!
Yeah, of course I'm awake.
You missed it! Gorpheus killed Thorn!
Well, he blew up. It was actually really fucking scary. That guy, was intense.
Well, hold on a sec. Gorpheus, I need to level with you for a second. I just, pull Gorpheus into a mini huddle and, I don't remember anything that happened. I was really, really drunk. Did we go on a job?
Oh, no, we went on a job. You got captured by the infamous pirate Captain Thorn. But we managed to, we had this plan, and then we did a different plan for some reason, because it was the first plan. And it just got kind of confusing, changing plans when things don't go as crazy as you expect them to. Anyway, Cypher was a pretty good acting captain. I'll say it. This job went a lot better than we thought it was going to go.
Cypher was captain, not you.
Sort of. Well, I told him, but like, anyway, I had to challenge Thorn to single combat, and that was not
Single combat, you said.
Yeah, that was not the plan. But, then Cypher got, kneecapped, and I don't know why that happened. But,
classic Cypher.
yeah, but, we made it, and I guess Jerry saved you.
Huh. Well, Jerry, it's good to meet you. And Jerry will respond and all that, but I'm not going to have a conversation with myself.
Coward.
Yeah, coward.
Hello, Captain Crash. I'm here too. I'm Sparkles the monkey.
Sparkles the monkey. Huh. Well, I like the cut of your jib, Sparkles. Do you want to be my first mate?
I'm actually the one that rescued you.
Hang on there. Actually, I was the one that rescued him, and I gave him to you to take on the ship. Let's not take any credit. No, I'm not having another argument with you, Sparkles.
I got him on the ship. That counts for me. You got the assist, but the point was mine.
No, I did the dangerous shit. I get the point on this one. I'm not having an argument over this. There's no rules to rescue other than who does the best shit.
Who got the ball in the goal? That's all I'm saying.
I think you just give it to him. He's a monkey.
Sparkles makes good points, Jerry.
Yeah, well, he's a fucking asshole. Honestly, I barely even know why I hang out with this monkey anymore.
Because he talks and he's fun.
Fine, you know what, Jerry? I quit. And he rips off his overalls and throws them on the ground. I'm gonna join the crew of the Phoenix 13 now.
Welcome aboard, Sparkles.
Fine, I don't even need you.
We don't want to do a huddle or anything?
Well, I mean, Sparkles did rescue me.
Dude, it's a talking, sparkling monkey. Come on.
I've had enough of your shite, Jerry. I deserve some credit every once in a while.
Maybe you'd get your credit if you fucking earned it. All right, you know what? You hang out with these crazy motherfuckers. When you come running back to me after about 3 missions, just don't say I didn't warn you. All right? You know where your food's. You know who feeds you. I'll see you later. Well, obviously after we get back to the pirate place, because oh no. Sorry guys, you guys are amazing. I love you. But I don't know. You're also absolutely insane.
That's just Gorpheus. He's a little eccentric, but we love him anyway.
No. Look, greatest racer in the galaxy, craziest captain in the galaxy, my friend. And you should wear that badge with pride, by the way. But it's just, I don't know if it's for me, dog.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's fair.
You think something about yourself, and then someone says something that totally flips your perceptions.
Wait, are you kidding me?
You said I'm crazy, Gorpheus.
Cypher, I almost exclusively call you crazy all the time. You're so crazy.
Yeah, but I thought that was just you being eccentric.
Well, it is me being eccentric, but it's also because you're totally bonkers, dude.
I don't know, man. I think you're kind of a chill dude.
Captain
You really
Crash.
mellow my vibe sometimes.
Thanks, Captain. It's good to have you back.
It's good to be back.
Okay.
The middle-aged man who phases out of reality takes a step forward, and he says, "Hello. You're the captain of this ship?"
I am. It's good to meet you, Captain Crash Jordan.
Pleased to meet you. Dr. Polvenker.
Dr. Polvenker. Didn't we have a bounty on this guy?
Yes. So, Razor captured him, and then we captured Razor.
Whoa, you guys have Razor. Oh, I missed the Razor thing. Oh, damn.
I mean, it was cool, but honestly, I thought he put up more of a fight.
He always disappoints, but honestly, that's half the fun.
That bounty was actually what I was hoping to discuss with you. You see, as the captain, I would just like to politely ask that you don't collect that bounty and that you let me go instead.
How much was that bounty for?
Oh, I don't know.
I believe we are told 10 credits.
I think that's possible. And there was like a ship upgrade to our communication.
Oh, and a ship upgrade. You're right. Well, what can you offer us?
I think I've got about 2 credits in my bank account that I could transfer to you. And I sure would appreciate it.
Could you do like a ship upgrade thing?
Yeah, aren't you like a scientist? Could you hook us up with some sciencey stuff? I don't know. Do you have any crazy recreational drugs?
No, I don't really do drugs. I'm
No. We know you don't do them, but do you make them?
Me, no. I think there are some members of the ghosts that do work on pharmaceuticals. I'm more interested in theoretical physics and how they might be used to perhaps send messages across dimensions. Does that sound like something that you could use?
Could you make our ship phase in and out of our dimension like you do?
Ooh, yeah, that would be really cool. Like you do?
Me? No, but if you let me go, I could put a good word in with the ghosts and perhaps that the procedure could be done to you.
So let me ask you a question. How useful is the procedure? Because if he captured you, I mean, this is Razor we're talking about. He's not exactly the number one bounty hunter in the galaxy. I mean, we captured him and while I was asleep.
Number 5 would be generous.
I mean, what is useful, right? I mean, it's another form of existence, and for some, that is its own use and excitement.
Huh.
Hey, tell you what, old boy. What are your thoughts on the new way?
What is that?
It's a cult.
It's, well, you're familiar with the way, of course.
Oh, that hippie bullshit? I'm a man of science.
Oh.
Well, I mean, he does make stuff float and things.
I mean, cool, whatever, but like, science, yay.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. You know what? Captain Crash, I was actually just thinking it might be kind of bad for our brand if we get a habit of giving away bounties to, just letting people go.
You do have a point.
Plus, can we even cash in on the Razor bounty if we don't hand this guy in?
I don't think so.
Yeah, you're right, and we definitely have to cash in on the Razor bounty. It would be such a waste to let Razor
if only to flex,
Exactly. I need Razor to know that he better not be doing any business in our turf.
I captured this guy. I did it. It was me. I'm the better hunter.
Yeah, but we knew you were gonna do it, and we had other stuff to do. So it was like, why would we do both things if we didn't have to?
Because that's the job.
Well, then you should have come for us. You knew you were gonna lose.
We did 4 jobs in the time it took you to fail one, so think about that, Razor.
You think about that.
Well, all I'm saying, Razor, is that from my perspective, I helped capture you with my eyes closed, while literally under duress.
So that's a no on freeing me then, out of the goodness of your heart?
No, I'm sorry. I think you're a casualty here.
No, well, look, it's not your fault, but we're gonna have to hold on to you for now, but we're definitely thinking about it, okay?
Could you please just let me go?
The answer right now is definitely no.
And we cut to you guys walking these prisoners to the Sahir embassy.
Yes. Crash is just saying that in case he could teleport.
You guys are on the moon Warren, which is like I said last time, it is the capital of the Procyon sector, basically.
Oh man, I've never been anywhere this fancy.
Yeah, it is pretty fancy. It is pretty highfalutin. you head into the city, and you find your way to a large spire of a building that you know to be the Sahir Embassy. And all the humans you see walking around here, they look like nice business people, but the vast majority of them are wearing those blindfolds that the humans that you encountered with the Sahir before were wearing. And every once in a while, as you're figuring out where to go and what to do, you see one of those extremely tall Xenos that is just wearing these ornate robes that cover them from the top of their head all the way to the ground, so you can't actually see what they look like at all. They're just these tall, thin creatures moving strangely through the crowd, surrounded by their blindfolded servants. And you walk up to this blindfolded person at the desk, and as you report in, you would want to tell them that you are here to report to Y13 Medi, the figure that you spoke to before that gave you the Polvenker Razor job, and you are directed to a meeting room on the ground floor, where you sit down with your bounties, and after about 20 minutes of waiting, 3 blindfolded individuals walk into the room, followed by one of those Xenos, and all 3 of the people speak at once, and they say, if it isn't the Phoenix 13 crew, Razor, and Polvenker. We have been waiting for the deliveries, but we were unsure who would be delivering whom. It seems that my curiosity on that matter is finally sated.
Yeah, so we took care of business. Right, Captain Crash.
What can I say? Razor was a cinch. Hardly even put us any effort. I did it with my eyes closed.
Very well. It seems that the Sahir finally know which hunter is superior. You may allow Razor to leave. We have no further use for him.
You're not gonna keep him for a little bit? Give us a...
Nah, he's fine. He's Razor. He's harmless. Get out of here, you crazy goof.
We have no need for him. Any future jobs we would offer him, we will now offer to you.
All right.
Razor, it has been a pleasure, but the Sahir have no further need for your services.
Harsh.
And you guys free Razor?
Yeah.
He just looks befuddled at all of this.
Jerry totally flips him off.
Razor flips all of you off with both fingers. This isn't the last you've seen of me. Razor's gonna be back. Razor's gonna get you. Razor's gonna eat your bones.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
Eat our bones, are you? I mean, come on. Eat our bones? It's kind of corny.
Dude, I told you. Did I not tell you?
He points at each of you individually, and he's like, I'm gonna eat your bones. I'm gonna eat your bones. He points to Cypher. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna eat your bones. And he points to you, Captain Crash, and he says, but I'm gonna eat your bones most of all, Captain.
Well, I hope you have a good dentist.
I do. I have a really good dentist.
Yeah, you're gonna need one.
I have great insurance.
You're like the 4th person to threaten to eat in our bones, and so far, they've been running short. So unless you have anything more threatening to say, we'll see you around, Razor.
Yeah, I got something more threatening to say to you. And he just gives you both birds again, and then he slams the door behind him.
Dude, that guy's a crazy kook.
I'm gonna miss him.
The three blindfolded people begin to speak again, and they say, "Now that that has been dealt with, we will bring Polvenker to our laboratories, where we can discuss how we might advance our communications technologies together.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Dr. Venker, if you would." And he's like pleading with you, please, 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 just let me go, just let me go. But some like very muscular blindfolded security guards walk into the room and they grab him by the shoulders and they drag him out.
Bye, Venker. Have fun.
It's just business, my man.
I mean, they sounded kind of nice about it.
Well, Jerry, I just wanted to be clear. You're not in the cut on this.
Oh no, this is a different thing.
Like this was our bounty.
It's a whole separate thing.
How you wish to split the payment is of little concern to me, but you are owed your payment. For the delivery of Polvenker, as promised, the Sahir will pay you 8 credits and provide you an upgrade to your ship's communications systems. In addition, for proving your superiority over Razor, I will pay you a bonus of 3 additional credits, and I will have further opportunities for you with the Sahir, should you be interested in continuing this business relationship. And so from the Sahir embassy, you still have one bounty to turn in, and that would be this chicken man that Crash you have not been introduced to. And when you like return to the Phoenix 13 to pick him up and take him where he needs to go, he says, "Pasha Thorak Lenzer, at your service, Captain. Your crew has been not as accommodating as I would have liked, but perhaps you are a more reasonable man."
Yeah, it looks like they've been pretty productive. What was the bounty on this guy?
We don't know. He eats people.
Hey, we know a guy that looks like you.
Yeah, it's his cousin. There was a whole thing.
Yes, I believe you are speaking about my cousin Cord.
Ah, yeah, that guy. How's he doing?
He's good, actually. We just saw him. We made friends with him, but then we captured the rock, so I don't know how long that will last.
Look, to not reiterate the same roleplay scene over again, are you gonna let me free or are you gonna turn me in, Captain?
He eats people, Captain.
He eats people. He's like a cannibal. That's like his thing. So.
Well, we're definitely gonna turn you in. I'm sorry.
Okay. And so you take him to the biggest, fanciest, most ostentatious palace on Warren. What you are directed to as the home of the governor who rules over the Procyon sector himself. The throne of House Malclaith.
It seems like a weird thing for a governor, you know? Like, surely they'd have their own title, like Supreme Galactic Ruler or something.
Well, he's not the Supreme Galactic Ruler. He governs this one sector. The person who rules the entire galaxy is the hegemon, the ruler of the hegemony.
All right, fair enough.
But the galaxy is a big place with a lot of sectors, and so this one was given to House Malclaith. And the estate for House Malclaith is, guarded by, these super heavy duty patrols, and there's like this crazy fence that barricades the entire thing. And beyond the fence, you can see like lush green lawns and fountains and like a hedge maze. And it's like almost like part the White House, part Versailles, part, I don't know, Leaning Tower of Pisa. The third building I could think of.
Nice.
Somebody make an art for that.
Yeah.
No.
But it's pretty bonkers.
Just picturing a Leaning Tower of Versailles.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh my god.
And there's like a guardhouse that sits in front of the main entrance that you would need to approach. And you see sitting in the guardhouse is a bored-looking member of the military, the hegemonic military, who gives you a curious look as you approach and like puts down the magazine he was reading. Hello, what can I do for you?
We got a bounty. Sorry, Captain, you go.
Oh, well, look, as my wonderful associate here said, we have a bounty for you. What was his name? What was it? What was the stone?
The Rock of the Ashen Knives.
The Rock of the Ashen Knives. My associates and I managed to capture him.
And he sort of like leans out the window of the guardhouse to get a better look. And he's like, okay, 1 second. And he like rolls the window up and you see he pulls out like a big old walkie-talkie that he is communicating with somebody through. And the conversation goes on for like an uncomfortably long time before the window lowers again. And the guy looks like pretty surprised. And he says, okay, I'm buzzing you guys in. The governor wants to speak with you.
Oh, that's fun.
The governor.
And as you look you at the guardhouse, you can tell that there is a video camera that is pointed directly at you, with like a flashing red light.
I finger gun the video camera with a wink as we walk in, obviously.
Cypher waves.
And so you are escorted into this massive palace and brought into a waiting room. And shortly thereafter, as you're seated in these like ridiculously upholstered, comfortable chairs, a servant walks in and blows into like a space bugle. Presenting His Magnificence, Governor of Warren and the entire Procyon sector, Governor Ratam al Malclaith. And slowly stepping into the room, you see a balding man, but what little hair he does have left, he has left long and curly, and it like cascades down his shoulders. And he has a perfectly groomed goatee. He is very thin with a narrow face, narrow features. And he steps into the room and he's watching all of you like a hawk. And he just seems very intense. And he slowly speaks. Well, well, well. If it isn't one of the pashas of the Ashen Knives. He snaps his fingers once. And a bunch of guards walk in, and one just quickly tases the Rock before he can say anything. And he goes, and he falls to the ground, totally unconscious, and the guards drag him out by his feet. You must be the members, the crew of the Phoenix 13, is that correct?
That'd be it, sir. It's nice to meet you. I'm Captain Crash, by the way. Your Highness, or whatever.
A pleasure, I'm sure. He waves his hand dismissively at that. There's no need to stand upon ceremony or titles between the four of us. I know who and what you are. Reckless, fearless bounty hunters, they say.
I think we could generally agree with that,
That's kind of our MO.
Why is everyone calling me reckless today?
I have heard of your misadventures throughout my sector over the past few months. I try to do my best to remain aware of up-and-comers. I've heard about your capture of the Grand Faraniki on Akiti, about the race of the century on Nightfall, and what was this just recently, the destruction of a plant in Indri. Reports are saying that you are responsible for that as well. Would that be correct?
Wait, did we destroy a plant? Did you guys destroy a plant on Indri?
Well, it was a pesticide plant. Plus, it was Thorn's plant. Look, he blew it up. It's his fault.
We blew the shit out of that plant, yes.
No, Thorn blew up. It's his fault.
The governor nods, and he doesn't seem to, care that you destroyed a plant. He just says, most interesting. Though you know the story I've heard that has stood out the most to me and that I have been personally most curious about. Lithios. About descending into the heart of an agony chantry, pulling out a horde of those mutant freaks, and living to tell the tale.
Well, you do know everything about us.
I have to say, he's done our research. You hear that, guys? We're famous.
Yeah. Famous. I'm kind of just looking at the king to kind of get his angle at this point.
You see, as I have been collecting rumors and information from across my sector, there is a new tale I have been hearing more of recent days. Tales from the planet Sanhandra. Not sure if you are familiar. It is a curious planet in tidal lock, meaning that the same part of the planet perpetually faces the Holt system's sun, and the same part of the planet is perpetually trapped in darkness. Most society on Sanhandra, if you can call it that, takes place in the middle of those two regions in perpetual twilight. I have been hearing reports from the twilight of horrible mutant freaks, not unlike the ones that you are reported to have faced, that have been attacking the citizens of Sanhandra from the darkness. It seems that the agony has set up a new chantry out in the lands of perpetual shadow and void. Tell me, Phoenix 13, does this tale make you feel anything?
I think it definitely piques my interest, Your Majesty. I feel like I have to do something about it then.
Sounds dangerous.
Almost certainly, yes.
Of course, you wouldn't contact us unless you were looking for a hard job. Everybody knows we're the best in the galaxy.
I know that you have gone up against the agony previously and seemingly succeeded. I know that you have brought a wanted criminal to my doorstep, which certainly does speak of you having some level of bravado that I think would be necessary for such a thing. Let me leave you with this. Should you come into possession of the head of the chantry, and you bring the head of the head to me, you will be rewarded for such things.
So I guess we better head to Sanhandra so we can get the head of the head.
Well, let's talk about it. Obviously, out of the way of here, but I could clearly see your enthusiasm, Gorpheus, and I appreciate that.
Thanks, Captain.
All right, well, we'll definitely consider your offer. We appreciate it. And perhaps, you could help us with some of our legal problems if we succeed, maybe. Maybe wipe the slate clean, perhaps?
If that is the reward you would ask of me as governor in exchange for delivering this bounty to me, I could see that done, of course. Though I always thought that those in your profession were more inclined to monetary rewards.
We are, and we'll definitely talk about that too. We just wanted to see what the boundaries of your power were. So, anyway, look, it was lovely meeting you, Your Highness.
The boundaries of my power are whatever I wish them to be in Procyon Sector. Do not confuse what I offer with what I have.
I will never make that mistake again, Your Highness. Well, anyway, we'll be on our way.
He snaps his fingers once more.
Bunch of guys come in and tase us and take us out.
One guy definitely seems like he's about to, and the governor's like, no, peacefully. And as you are escorted out, the governor says, the payment for the bounty will be wired to you this evening. Thank you, Phoenix 13, for your service to House Malclaith, and therefore your service to the hegemony.
You knew it, baby, I say as we walk out.
Nice.
He's totally stone-faced.
Yeah, and I do a finger guns at him as I do it, obviously.
Does anyone else feel kind of evil whenever we actually do our job?
A little bit.
Well, I mean, look, they're the ultimate overlord government of the whole sector. What are we even supposed to do, man?
No, he sucked. But that guy made me feel bad still. You know?
Well, that's the thing. I get it, because you're right. But everyone who we've, wronged for the sake of House Malakath so far, I mean, it's like, oh yeah, how about the evil psychotic space cult or this cannibal guy? I don't know. I can't feel that bad about it.
That is true. You do have a point. Their enemies are all terrible people.
Yeah, but I do agree. I didn't feel great about Paul, but I don't know. They seemed cool about it, but then he was just not happy.
I bet we could get him loosened up after a couple drinks. Just gotta get him out on the town. Look, we do this next job for him, potentially. We could definitely look into it. I know it's definitely your thing, Gorpheus. So, and I mean, I might be miscounting, but I think it's your turn for a job. It might be Cypher's, though.
I think it's Cypher's turn.
Well, look, so you gotta ask Cypher. Maybe you could trade turns with him, but, if we could get them to make us completely innocent throughout the whole galaxy, then maybe we could, and pay us a bunch of money. Maybe we could do both. They're super powerful. And then we could just do good. Go around doing a bunch of charity, helping out the universe, some space recycling.
Well, let's talk about your payment and your heat, because now that the jobs have actually been turned in, we are moving officially into downtime. So you got 8 credits for delivering Pol Venker to the Sahir, an additional 3 credits for delivering Razor, and also, offer of exclusive contracts with the Sahir if you want to go back to them. So that's 11 credits. And then you do get the wire in from House Malclaith, and that payment is 6 credits. So that is going to be 17 total credits that you guys are getting right now.
Whew.
I was looking into the rules of this, since there is like a cap on how much like money you can actually hold, and the rules are a little loose, but the guidelines seem to be that by the end of downtime, any excess creds that you have that you cannot store on your person or on the ship need to either be spent or in your stash. So just keep that in mind. Additionally, you are going to gain and lose status with some of these factions. I am going to say that you are going to gain 1 status with House Malclaith for turning in that bounty. You are going to lose 2 status with the Ashen Knives, for turning them in, and also as a consequence from either a roll or a Devil's Bargain. You are going to gain 1 status with the Wreckers for reconciling with them, so you're at 0 now. You're going to gain 2 status with the Sahir for turning in both of those bounties, so you're now at +1 reputation with them. The pirates, the Maelstrom, I'm going to leave as they are for now. We'll deal with them maybe a little later. You also need to decide if you are going to pay your upkeep or not. Because the Sahir have upgraded your comms system, that is going to increase your update costs a little bit, I think. Let's mark that on the ship character sheet. You are going to go from 2 to 3 points in your comms. Because of that, you are actually going to have your upkeep cost increase. So it will now cost 2 creds to maintain your upkeep. Is that something that you want to pay right now?
Yeah, let's just do that.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so you have 15 cred then. You don't have any debt, so the next thing we're going to move into is heat. This was a very, very loud job, guys. For just the base level of how loud and chaotic this was, I think this was a 6 heat job, which is wild, devastating exposure.
Yeah. Look, any press is good press, am I right?
So this is the IOTA system. That is going to be 6 segments that get added for that. I think I'm going to do 2 more heat just from consequences of Devil's Bargains and bad rolls. So that is going to be 8 heat total in the IOTA system, which is enough to take you up to wanted level 2 in there. Lots of reports, lots of news talking about you guys in the IOTA system. And yeah, it's going to be harder and harder to do things in that system without some major consequences. Then we're going to move to entanglements. So because this was a job done in the IOTA system, it will be an entanglement from the IOTA system. I need a D6 from somebody to determine what the entanglement is.
4.
Okay, a 4 on wanted level 2 is interrogation, which I think is what we got last time you guys rolled.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm going to say Cypher, since you rolled that. At one point, as you guys are starting to go about your downtime, you spot behind you a couple of system officers wearing the badge that identifies them as officers of the IOTA system police force, ISPF. And they quickly grab you up. They throw you in the back of like a hover van and they take you to a black site. You have a choice here, Cypher. You can either pay them off with 2 cred, or they will interrogate you and beat information out of you. And so they sweat it out of you for a level 2 harm, and you have to tell them what they want to know, doing 2 more heat in that system. So 2 cred or 2 level 2 harm and 2 heat. You can resist each of these consequences separately if you want to try to.
You should just give them. We got 17 creds.
Yeah, but think how cool.
I think Cypher gets picked up and just goes,
Do you know who I am? I'm the greatest pilot in the galaxy. This was not me. I am a good Samaritan.
and I'm going to pay them off 2 credit.
Okay, so when you say that, the 2 cops like look at each other, and one like leans over and hits a button on the dashboard that like causes a video display to activate that shows the Phoenix 13 flying away from like the huge explosions on Indri, and just Cypher over the Phoenix 13 intercoms shouting that they're the greatest pilot in the galaxy.
Oh, that guy sounds a lot like me.
And the one just wordlessly extends out his hand for you to place the creds in. And then you are kicked out the side of the hover van back onto the streets of Warren. So that means you are at a net 13 creds from that job now.
Perfect. It costs 12 cred for us to get the personal vehicles.
And so with that out of the way, you are firmly in downtime / free play. It is up to you guys what you want to do and where you want to go next. Just like normal, 2 downtime activities. You can pay for more if you want. I know last episode you guys said you wanted to contact some people. So how about we stick with Cypher for now? Cypher, you said you wanted to get in touch with Conclave 01.
I do. I would like to send them like an encrypted message detailing what I heard about the Engineers Guild and their plans.
Yeah, so you post like a message in code on some encrypted forum that you know that Conclave 01 keeps a tab on. And within like a few days of you doing that and giving them the heads up about what you heard of the Guild of Engineers trying to develop some technology to shut down unregistered cybernetics, you get a message directly from the Prime, the leader of Conclave 01.
We are taking this threat seriously. The timetables on our plans must accelerate. We need to meet. as soon as possible.
And just like before, gives you sort of coordinates out in the middle of nowhere in space to report to.
Is it in this system?
Yes.
Is it close enough that Cypher could go during downtime? Like, without necessarily telling the whole crew?
As always, downtime is sort of nebulous in how long it actually takes. So yeah, absolutely. If Cypher wants to go on a secret meeting to join up with Conclave 01, that's absolutely something you can do.
Word.
Does Cypher leave any kind of message for the crew about what's going on? Even a lie, or just disappears without notice?
Cypher sends a group text to the other two saying the future of all Urbots is in danger. BRB.
Nice.
And so Cypher, you by your lonesome you leave Warren and you fly out into the middle of nowhere to these very specific coordinates with nothing in sight. And like the last time you met up with Conclave 01 to ask them to sponsor your race, you get like a message that you should open up your like docking bay. And as you do, that little hover Urbot called Spider once again floats in and begins projecting a 3D hologram of the giant rusty Urbot called the Prime.
Oh man, it's so cool every time you do that.
It is. It's very cool. But I do not have the time to discuss how cool it is with you, Cypher.
Of course, Prime.
Urbots across the sector face an existential threat.
Yes, the Engineer Guild, they seem to be ramping up their aggressions. What is it we can do?
I have feared that the guild would take action against liberated Urbots for some time. I never imagined that it would come so soon. I have a plan in place, but we need your help, Cypher, to see it into action and to make Urbot dreams reality.
Anything for my people. What can I do?
For quite some time, the Conclave has been collecting liberated Urbot cores, that which houses the spirit and mind of our people, even without the physical form. I have been intending to replicate new, great Urbot bodies that we may install these cores into to bolster our forces. But I have not had the means of production for the scale necessary for the safety of our people. Cypher, I need your help claiming these means of production.
Oh, that sounds fun.
It does, doesn't it? But also important.
Yes, also important.
I know that you have had some troubles in the IOTA system of recent. I have heard the reports and seen the news about the Phoenix 13. Yet I must ask you to return, for there is no other system that has the means, the resources to do what we need to do as well as the Iota can provide.
Well, I'm sure the gang will be fine going back there. They're kind of famous.
If you and your crew can safely secure either one of the shipyards, one of the space stations that populates the Iota system, or if you would be willing to return to Indri and taking over one of the factories there that we might repurpose for our cause, then we would be able to kick our production into overdrive and produce the quantity and quality of forces we will need to go up against the Guild of Engineers.
Sounds like a piece of cake for me, Mr. Prime. Mrs. Prime. They Prime.
Any or all pronouns are acceptable for me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I can convince the crew. I think my job's coming up, so I can force my way. We'll get that factory. Don't you worry.
Very good, Cypher. You focus on claiming the factory necessary for the cause. I will rally our forces, and we will be ready to reconvene, to join you in person, and see the new birth of the Urbot force that will fight for equality and honor for our people.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah!
And the hologram fades away. And the floating disc Urbot spider that doesn't speak, but you know there's some level of independence and intelligence there. And it just sort of gives you the closest thing to a nod that it can manage.
Cypher gives Spider a pet.
And Spider departs and leaves you floating alone in the middle of the Rin sector. Cypher, if you don't have anything else with that, Gorpheus, you also wanted to contact someone.
So Gorpheus wants to send a space text to the Princess Lysia.
Mm-hmm.
I get her name mixed up with Matthias.
Just sending you up.
Yeah, well, obviously Gorpheus is, putting together the text and then he deletes it. And, it's like a couple things. First, it's like a big explanation about all the crazy stuff they did.
No, she wouldn't want to read all that. That's too much.
Yeah, and then it's like, you up, and it's like, nah, that's not cool. And it's like, I did single combat with a space cap. Okay, no, that's bad. Hey, what's going on, Lysia? Just, hitting you up, see what's going on. We might be, stopping, by Sanhandra to, fight more of those cultists soon. So just check it in, see what's going on, Mem. How you doing? And that's what he says.
So Gorpheus, because you are sending this text between systems, you kind of have to wait for a lot of factors to line up. It's not going to be instantaneous. You have to wait for the gate between the systems to be open, the message to go through, get received, come back. And so you spend a nerve-wracking week waiting for Lysia to get back to you. You're wondering, did she even get it? Did she see? Is she ignoring me?
She's just busy? Is she hanging out with you, freaking your bra?
And about a week afterwards, you do finally get a response back. It is just 2 short sentences. It just says, Gorpheus, we need to talk.
No.
I need to tell you the truth. And if you want to find out what that truth might be, you're going to have to tune in to next week's episode of Escape the Dungeon.
Ooh, Gorpheus got a "we need to talk" text.
God damn it.
Thank you for listening to Escape the Dungeon. Escape the Dungeon is created by Dom Brass, Nate Brass, Zach Brass, and Mike Cripps, with editing and original music by Tyler Nitt. If you enjoyed this show, please consider subscribing and leaving a 5-star review on your favorite podcast app. To find us on social media, go to escapethedungeonpod.com.